Hi everyone, it's Geir. I have a nice attacking game to share with you. This is from the 2005 Norwegian Chess Championship. On the white end, 14-year-old Magnus Carlsen, already a grandmaster. Playing against FIDE master, Geir, Sune, Tallaksen, Østmoe. Okay, fun little note. I was almost maybe not going to share this game. That name intimidated me. I was like, oh man, am I supposed to pronounce that? Anyhow, we have a Queen's Indian defense with some quick pressure on c4. It's defended. In comes some more pressure, though, with b5. We get that exchange in there. In the end, black emerges a little bit better in the center. Better central control now with the knight for bishop-pawn exchange. A downside in maybe going for a line like this is that there's a nice tempo in white's future. Knight c3, the bishop is accessible on the b5 square. Note the timing of knight c3. It's not played just yet. Not here either. Only at this point, only after the king has been tucked away. And in this way, we don't have to worry about any bishop b4 pins in this case. So bishop's got to move. a6 it is. Speaking of pins, white's getting out of one of them right now. Dark square bishop development. Castles, and now we go with e4. Good for a few reasons. A few pieces are activated because of e4. These are the three that come to mind for me. e4 is justifying the earlier rook move. e4 is also helping activate this bishop because if you're not playing this move, this guy's going to forever just be biting on a rock. How has this guy helped? Well, let's see. After the smoke clears on e4, there we go. This pawn at least now has a move. You could easily see continuations where the diagonal now opens up. All right, from here, this rook is bugged a bit by the bees and eventually parks itself on this unusual square h3. Clearly, Carlsen has aggressive intentions in mind with this little rook maneuver, pointing the rook at the black kingside. Now, a maneuver or an idea like this can easily backfire, I would say, if the attack is not successful. If black, let's say, manages to exchange queens, this rook will almost certainly be out of play. It may be even tricky to get it back into play. Okay. Important to try and keep queens on board, playing here as white, going for an attack. We get some piece improvements from here. Carlsen activating his last piece. And there we go. We're getting a light square bishop exchange in there. And after queen c2, we reach an important moment. The game experiences a shift in the evaluation at this stage. Black continues here with c5. It seems very sensible to play c5. It's one of those half-dead pawns, exchanging it for a center pawn. Maybe in some cases you're cutting out knight c6 then. Computer does not like this move, however. One of the suggestions in the computer's eyes here goes with, it wants to play with a5, in a way saying, be okay giving up the c pawn and just play this position here, and you can improve the knight. Knight to e4, continue with a4. The extra pawn that white has isn't really felt. Black has excellent control in a position like this over the light squares. And note there's not really going to be an attack against the black king if the queen is grabbing the c pawn. She's all in on this queenside play. Kind of inconsistent. It doesn't really tie, a variation like this doesn't really tie in well with this rook over here on h3. Kind of silly looking when we look at a variation like this. So, okay, in this game, a5 not played. We have c5, and we're going to see that there's a variation that I'll be putting on shortly, where with best play by black, white is able to successfully capture on the c5 square. Follow up from here, knight g4, a poison knight, trying to undermine support of this h7 square. Knight takes knight, game over. From here, h6 is played. So the best move in the computer's eyes here, it says play with h5. And after this knight capture, this is where we can see the c5 pawn won. This isn't the end of this variation, but in the end, white will still be up a pawn. Black gets this guy here, and white in the end is still going to get the h pawn like so with the rook e5 fork. Okay, this best move, h5 by black, was not played. In this game, it is just a single step, and we're going to see soon enough the issue going just one step. First, Carlsen invites another piece into the mix. Notice the significant difference here between the rooks. Both white rooks play, blacks don't. Queen f3 from here, and now we have a sacrifice on h6. And right around the corner now, a mate in one threat. What are you supposed to do about this threat? If the knight moves to, let's say, e4, allowing the bishop to defend here, we could just take the knight. Any other knight move, and we'll have mate on h7. So how else is black to stop rook g5 check? Queen g4 will not work out. Here's one follow-up move, f4. And now we're going to soon win the queen. The rook will be getting to that g5 square. Okay, what is tried in this game? King g7. Let me throw this position to you as a pop quiz. Can you spot how the 14-year-old Carlsen continued from here? Feel free to pause the video. Okay, rook is under fire. Carlsen says, I can afford to sacrifice yet another piece. Rook g5 check is played, forcing the only move. King takes rook, and now only winning move from here. Of course, this was calculated before playing rook to g5. Bishop c1. Back home for the dark square bishop, setting up a discovered check. And now what are you supposed to do here? This rook is ready to go wherever. This is an appealing square. Landing a check, winning the queen next. What's black supposed to try here? In the game, it's c takes d. If knight e4, rook f5 is there, and we're winning the queen next. Okay, in this game, c takes d, rook g4, check, and now a sad move, but necessary one, queen e3, blocking the check. Why playing this way? Well, if you move the king, it's mate. Got all these squares covered. Game over. Okay. So after the discovered check, it is queen e3. Not capturing the queen just yet. Precise play here. If you take the queen, the rook falls. Let's save the rook first with check. In the game, knight h5 is played. If the king moves, then we're ready to go. We could take the queen next. The knight blocks, in this case. Still no capture of the queen here. There's some pressure on the rook. We have rook captures knight. Another piece sacrifice. Pulling the king a hair closer, a rank closer to these guys. Still no capture of the queen. Queen h7 played here. If we're taking the queen, this is still considered winning, but I guess black could maybe at least think about hiding, playing on for a little bit. We have first queen h7, ensuring that the queen takes up a very active post. Now, only at this stage, after the queen is activated, do we take the queen. Nice patience there before grabbing the queen. Follow up, rook a to c8, king g2. We can afford to give up this bishop. No, there's no fear of rook c2 bothering our king. We got that square covered. Rook takes bishop played. The queen in this game is enough. The queen and a couple key pawns will be enough to deliver mate in this one. It's a mate in 4 from here. h3 check. Only move now. Queen g7 check. 2 options. King h5 will have g4 check. King h4. Queen h6. Mate. And if the king hangs a left, the move played in the game, still we have g4 check, king e4, and in this one piece is enough, the queen right in the center for mate. What did you think of this one? Anyhow, feel free, as usual, to leave any feedback to this video in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe took a thing or two away. That's all for now. Take care.